Yeah, boy. I'd like to welcome you guys to the Two Ninja Kickback. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Hope you guys are having a lovely Monday morning, or Monday evening, or Monday night, depending on when you are actually listening to this.
Ain't gonna lie, yo. You got like the meanest news anchor cast voice on right now, yo. I'm getting hella Ron Burgundy vibes from you right now, my nigga.
Got to welcome the people back. These people are listening to us and shit like that.
That is true. You stay classy, Two Ninjas listeners.
Definitely. Speaking of classy, how you doing, my guy?
I'm groovy, bro. Listening to some good music for real, smoking some good fucking weed. You know how it goes, man.
I can tell.
What else? Got some good lemon ginger tea in my system too, man. Like good fucking warm hot tea, man.
The secret sauce.
It is, man. Keeps the skin looking youthful. I say youthful.
Doesn't matter. If you are viewing this on YouTube, all that good stuff, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, drop a notification, all that great stuff. Tone, I know we was talking yesterday about the Tory Lanez live, and why not get all the bullshit out the way? You had a chance to divulge into some of the stuff you may or may not have been talking about or got to speak of on his live.
Yeah, I kind of got a little bit more information. You feel me? Just based off of just rewatching the live and shit, and actually seeing, I guess like everything that I need to know for my synopsis and how I can actually see the story pan out for real. And to be honest, I wasn't one of the people that was looking for a pitchfork to burn this nigga.
Right.
But I was one of the people that was saying if this nigga did shoot her, then shame on him and he should be burned. But further on with the details for real and just hearing everybody's stories and just me being a nigga just looking on the outside in on some real nigga shit, you ask me, I think she kind of shot herself.
And it has been some shit that's been floating around. And from what Tori's saying, niggas gotta realize when you say I didn't do it, my mans didn't do it, and she didn't do it. It's like you only kind of process of elimination. Like, well, who's left? I think I was sitting back like, man, yo, like this is what the hip hop we get. This is our beefs, this is our scandals and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Shooting. Just not even just like rappers shooting rappers, like rappers that you would really think of for real.
But I'm saying, like, our aunts or our older cousins, whatever you want to call it, they had the Biggie and Pac beef and all that other shit to deal with and report on and talk about. Niggas had
Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez beef.
That's what we get. But they had Diddy and Shine and J-Lo in the club clapping that bitch up.
Oh yeah. Good point.
Niggas had.
I ain't think of that.
Niggas had some monumental shit, and we get this. But like I said, in the last previous episode, Tory versus Hollywood or whatever the fuck it's called, I was saying like, yo, like I'm trying to withhold judgment until the state of LA or whatever, you know what I mean, makes the decision of California. My bad, the decision on where they gonna go with it. I know a whole bunch of new information has been released, and like the bodyguard even came out and said something about it. And I know Tory finally came on live, and I feel like it's just a bit of bad timing because niggas was looking for him to speak on the situation a little earlier. And then for what he really divulged in the live, it was like nothing that we really didn't get. And he kind of said a lot of it on the project he had put out. What's it called? D-Star?
Yeah.
I think he, like, pretty much a lot of stuff he said in the live, he pretty much said on there. And then, there's an open case, so how far can you really get into it? I thought it was weird initially when I first seen the live, and I think me and you even was talking during it. I'm going to just catch that shit later because I already kind of knew what it was going to be, knowing that, like, it's an open case now. So it's like any juicy secrets that he might have in the case, he can't divulge that shit on live. You got to wait till the case and the trial start.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to really get nothing. I think what it might have been a ploy to kind of just get more people rallying on this side. Like, you know what I mean? The people that might not really give or really care to go look up their own information outside of it. I dedicated a whole day into looking into the case, and it's not really a whole lot. Like, and it depends on how nasty the case about to get. Like, if they really gonna go all in, you're gonna see Kylie getting pulled to the stand. You're gonna see motherfucking subpoenas going out and all that other shit. So it's like, how far is the investigation about to go with all that money on the line?
See, it can only go as far as a motherfucker's patience can go. You feel me? And how much they're willing to kick out for this lawyer shit. I mean, because I don't know, like at the end of the day, what we both know is, and what everybody knows is, like they can't keep this shit up forever. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually,
The
this shit
truth's
is gonna
gonna
have to
come out,
crack and
right?
fold. Yeah, and the
And,
thing of it is, I think it just comes to like a motherfucker just whose paper is gonna be in civil situations like this, in civil court for real. The only way motherfuckers can really win is if you could just drain the nigga pocket out just off of lawyer fees.
well, this is far past civil. I think. Like I think this the big boy joint. This nigga looking at like charges,
Oh, it's like,
charges. Like
oh, okay, so
so,
it's
like
criminal.
yeah, it's a felony on the line. Like
Hmm.
he might be like I said, nigga gonna be doing like 22 years for some of the. That's just the gun. I think in the shooting part kind of laced up. But even said in the whole live, you said like, yo, if you got the call for the shooting and then you have a victim that got shot and all that other
Yeah, they
shit.
got shot and you ain't make no
Yeah,
on-site arrest for real. Then
and
what the fuck was
that's the
like?
layup. And I was sitting there like, and I
Yeah,
said that during the episode, Tory versus whatever.
but it's kind of scary, especially in this today's climate, because you're guilty by public opinion. You
And
feel me?
yeah, I said that. I say, and the
And
bad part is, even if this nigga do come out of this, he's still gonna be guilty by it in a lot of niggas' eyes.
and not even that, just off of just how Meg came off the first hand and swayed that shit. You feel me? It could have already just put that fucking sentiment inside the jury's head. What if the jury of his peers is nothing but black women?
They won't do that. I don't think.
I'm just saying though, you feel me? It'll be some sick shit like that or some shit like
I
that. You
wouldn't
feel
call that
me?
sick, but I think
I
I,
think it would be if he is not getting tried fair, and
not
if
all
we don't
black
really
women
know the
feel
whole
he did it
story.
though too. So we can't
Yeah,
even
see,
throw that
that's the
on them.
thing.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So like, I wouldn't think that's the worst thing in the world. Like, it's all subjugated on how you feel in the situation, and shit like this right now is such an emotional case where it's
It
like
is.
people feel for Meg in a larger scale, and then people hate Tory in a larger scale, and people feel for Tory in a large scale and hate Meg. So it's like it's so much fucking emotion wrapped into this shit. But if you separate yourself as you should and think that's a celebrity, but you know what I mean, that's something about the affect their real life,
Hmm.
but it doesn't affect your life. But people get wrapped up in it and start to push their own agendas and narratives on it. Like it was
Oh
motherfuckers
yeah.
in the live, like, oh, this nigga lying, he capping. Like the live ain't even start yet. Nigga ain't even. He's sitting there saying, "Hey man, let's get everybody in here."
Oh, that's just the motherfucking wolves. That's just
The
inside the
sheep,
fucking yeah. That just be inside the crowd and shit, just waiting for some shit. You
trolls and
feel
shit,
me?
yeah, all of that good
Hmm.
stuff. But
Like you
I
always
ain't
gonna
mad
have
at
niggas
that.
like that. I mean, you kind of have to be. You feel me? And like to somewhat to a degree, especially if a nigga ain't get the chance to plead his case.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying. I just want to
because
hear both sides. That's all.
yeah, because if niggas gave Meg all the fucking chance in the world to plead her fucking case, let this nigga speak too. That's how I truly feel.
One thing need
Especially
there.
if
My
none of
bad.
us is really affected. You feel me?
To go back to that point that you just made before we get too far off of it. I know in the live he was basically saying like he didn't like how she came out and did the whole black woman we gotta
Hmm.
protect our queens. Breonna Taylor got shot, and this nigga dropping the album on Breonna Taylor case and all this other shit. When he came out and was like, "Yo, that's my mom's birthday" and all that other shit, I was like, "Oh damn, see, I that's how wrapped up and tied." And like sometimes a motherfucker ain't really trying to be. I guess it's like that's why you need to hear a person's side of the story because
Yeah,
you don't know where the person coming from. You just is speculating on what he doing. But this nigga was like his mom had I think passed away or some shit. I don't really remember, but he was
yeah.
saying he's putting out for
I
that.
remember he divulged that story on Breakfast Club and shit
And I
about
was
the
like,
story about his
damn, yeah.
mom.
And I'm like, wow. See, so like you can't even get mad at that. Like, I understand everything, and in fact, like you said, his mom was in fact a black woman. So it's like
Hmm.
it is bad that it get wrapped up and tied in that sometimes, but like you can't. Like I said, a long better episodes ago, you can't tell people how to feel. So if motherfuckers feeling protected, that's how they feel.
That is true. That is definitely true. But just to swing and play devil's advocate just a little bit for real. It's I don't know when I see some people trying to play clean up on their name and shit,
Hmm.
and I see them do it in a such a way. I like I don't want to say it in such a way with class because none of this shit is classy whatsoever. You feel me? All this shit is messy. But when I see somebody that's trying to conduct this shit in a respectful manner for real and not damning nobody and shit, and I can see the other party play damage control, I kind of have to lean on the fence of Tory. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Just because of how he's keeping his composure. And if just me on the outside looking in for real, just seeing Meg just slowly cracking shit, saying this nigga lying, this nigga crazy and shit like that. If you really down for what the fuck you already know, what is the truth, you shouldn't have nothing to say. You shouldn't
Just
have
wait for the
nothing to
truth to
comment.
come out. Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to sway no more like nobody else about shit. You feel me?
It is gonna be interesting, and like the only bad part about it is the more these motherfuckers speak, the more they in the light, the more it escalates and shit like that. I just hope this all ain't like some fucking publicity stunt or some shit at the end of the day.
See, and that's the thing I feel as though it
Cause
is.
you can't tell who's real or whatever the fuck. Like one thing I
You
do
can't
find
tell about this whole industry shit, period. Who's real, who's fake about this shit.
one thing I found interesting, not interesting because it's not entirely the same story, but I thought it was just kind of crazy. But recently, Young Buck, the rapper, ended up getting to a scuffle with his girlfriend and ended up getting shot at a shot.
Who shit?
And it was like it wasn't the same outpouring in the community and shit like that. And it's like when you hear the story, you like, so this motherfucker got shot or shot at over him not giving his IG password to his girl. And I'm like, that's nuts.
I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing somewhere he's also been arrested but due to some shit because of this shit.
Probably.
Like she called the police on this
Yeah,
nigga or some
probably
shit, if
because
I'm
you know,
not
like I
mistaken.
think in that situation where it's like she might have shot, called the police or whatever beforehand, and then the police was coming at it to arrest him, and then they just looking at it like, all right, well, clearly it might have been, well, not clearly, but it could have been a self defense case, and that's why she was
Hmm.
shooting, but they also got to arrest her because she shot the gun and all this other shit to see what's going on. So that's probably that
But
situation.
yeah, but like it goes into this whole favor of what I'm saying nowadays and shit. Where it's just I hate to say it, but it's really just demonizing black men. Like I understand, I can see why. Like I can't even see why. I can't even say that. Like I just don't understand this shit. Like what the fuck? Like 2020 just hit. Not even 2020. Like oh, this
I
shit has
was
just been
this been
going on
happening for a
forever.
while. Yeah, this ain't no
Yeah, yo,
2025.
like I don't know, yo. It's weird as shit, yo. But like it just seemed like it's just a bandwagon of this shit, and the simple fact that like a black man, like let's exclude race. Let's just exclude race. Let's exclude sex. A human being was shot at, and they're not shown. We're gonna use binary code on this shit. 1000100. You feel me? Is not showing the same amount of compassion and sympathy
Nah,
as zero
motherfuckers was
one
definitely
one zero
trolling this
one
nigga.
one two zero. You feel me? It's fucking weird, yo.
It's not weird. That's just how it is. It's like I feel
I mean,
like
black men are expendable. We're expendable.
I don't think that. I say this, and then we're
Uh,
gonna get out of here. I'll say I think what it is like you have to take a deeper look into what double standards is, because it's like a lot of double standards benefit the other party, but then you look at the double standards that are in the other party's favor. They want those double standards and want to uphold the other double standards at the same time. And I'll break that down like this. So you have, I'll say like a double standard that a man is supposed to work and take care of the household, right?
mm-hmm.
A woman will tell a man that that's what they're supposed to do, but then want their independence and want to be treated like a queen above the household. So it's like, how can he run it, but then uphold that other standard that now that we're equal and stuff like that? So it kind of plays into each other. It's like it's
Mm.
not gonna work. Or like for instance, like you'd say you want. I just know there's no disrespect in like how women may feel about
Equality only comes to convenience.
the what's it called, the financial gap in the workplace or whatever the fuck, the wage gap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you take something like that, and this is far left, but it's just a physical thing. Like sometimes, like so, like if a person is more physically aptitude for a certain job and that job pays more, should the double standard still apply in that situation? Because like I'm sure a female don't want to be throwing boxes off of a truck all day.
See, and that's where somebody like me is going to come in and say her ass shouldn't be in that fucking warehouse.
And but you're wrong to say that
You
though,
feel me?
unfortunately. And like, are you really
See,
wrong though? Because it's like you might be coming
see,
from a
but that's
place
the
like
thing.
you shouldn't be back here throwing these
I come,
boxes, miss.
yeah, that's what the fuck I mean. I come from a place and I come from a work time and experience where it's nothing but motherfucker. Just either you're a brawlic ass female in that back, and you, and what I mean by a brawlic ass female, you to the point you one of the niggas, and you in that bitch in jeans and sweats, and you is handling that bitch just like everybody else, and nobody's complaining about your load. Then yeah, go ahead and do your thing. But if you one of these motherfuckers that's complaining about your nails and shit and gotta get your fucking hair done every 2 weeks and shit, then yo take your ass home. You feel me? Take your ass to the fucking bank and fill out an application there, some shit like. But that's what I mean though. Like they don't like this whole equality shit only comes when it comes to convenience. You feel me?
We got to touch on
They
that
beat
more.
that just yeah, and I feel like that's an afterthoughts right there in its own for real. Because when it comes down to it, it's this new shit that they trying to pimp on niggas that's called manimony. Have you heard of this?
Nah, is that anything like mansplaining?
It's it's they're trying to flip the shit like how alimony is. I'm quite sure you're familiar with alimony.
Yeah.
But now that since women in 2020 and nowadays in the workplace, they're making actual more money than their male counterparts. You feel me?
Yeah, it's been in the
So
workplace for a
inside
while.
this, yeah. So now inside this hole and all, you have women that are actually kicking out more when it comes to the divorce, and these motherfuckers have the nerve to be upset because they're the breadwinners. And traditionally in marriages, it comes, you feel me,
To the
that the
breadwinner, right?
breadwinner has to kick out more. So now these bitches are upset because of that shit. And now it's just clicking in my head and it's showing that this shit only clicks when it comes to convenience. You feel me? These bitches
Hey,
don't want equality. They want fucking convenience.
that's how it go, man. You gotta fight for, I guess, the betterment of what you want while you here. Like so, like
And
you got
that's why
niggas
I'm
that's
single
made
to this
us
day, yo.
planless here. Cause like, I be like, I understand why women mad at us sometimes, yo. We just simple
I
creatures,
can
yo.
understand
Like we
you. See,
simple.
but
They
that's
so
the thing.
complex.
We're so fucking simple to the point I don't understand why the motherfucker could be mad.
Yeah, like we don't be doing
You
much, yo.
feel me?
Like,
And it's so fucking crazy because your females will put so much thought into how not to make a nigga cheat to the point the nigga would cheat
I think they.
instead of just simply just sitting down and just shutting the fuck up and being just simple. That's all niggas just require you is just simple shit.
I would
Just
never
simple
tell
shit.
somebody to sit down and
When
shut
you
the fuck up.
complex, hey my nigga, sometimes yo telling somebody shut the fuck up and eat this slice of pizza is the best damn thing ever, yo.
That should have
It's
backfired
the
you with a woman
best.
though, yo. You getting uppercutted,
Shit.
nigga.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is funny, and we gonna get more into that on an afterthoughts episode or something like that. But it is a question that definitely needs to be had, and the intricacy of it needs to be had, and some type of conversation needs to be had on how
Mm-hmm.
how how it's supposed to work, I guess, or like how can both parties win without diminishing the other's power? Because as a man, you want to be felt, you want to feel like a man in your relationship, and as a woman, I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you want to be empowered by your man. So it's just a conversation niggas need to sit down the fact is, truthfully, it's different in every relationship and with every person. So you might get a woman that's submissive, you might not. It's up to you to find it. And a woman, you might want a man that's dominant, you might not want one. But you can't then get mad at the person you choose to be with if they don't grow into
That
something
is
you want.
sure.
And I think it comes more into play with women sometimes. They might get a man that's not dominant, then expect him to be dominant or try to make him dominant and then end up fucking that relationship. Then get a man that's dominant and not like how he's too dominant and you know what I mean? So it's a double edged sword.
I feel as though it all just starts with a conversation.
There
I
you
feel
go.
as though we all just get past. I think we really just get past the point of conversations. Like it's motherfuckers that's just hopping in relationships, like that sixth or seventh relationship in the fucking
And
year.
they had a discussion about who they is or what they want.
Yeah,
Right.
you feel me? You don't know shit about a motherfucker. You moving this motherfucker in a house after a month and a half of talking to them. You feel me? Yeah, it be shit like that, yo. And I feel as though that's the main reason and problem for like a lot of this shit. You feel me? Even when
Right.
it comes to like celebrity relationships and shit like that, you see nowadays and shit. Got motherfuckers like Iggy Azalea and Playboy Cardi and shit. You seeing how they split up and shit, and they got a whole fucking baby.
Yeah, that happens. Speaking of other styles of celebrity relationships, recently we kind of seen Busta and Ti going at it civilly, and their whole versus battle call out. I like how they kind of handled it. Both of them were being like a bit, they were talking their shit, but respectfully, and it was
I
very.
don't mean. Oh, now go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say because I don't mean no harm. Buster came for Ti neck on that Fat Joe stream, my nigga. You feel me? He came for that nigga. He was protecting 50 neck on that shit, yo.
I don't think he was protecting 50. I think he was just looking at New York like, oh, this nigga kind of talking crazy about New York right now. I got to step up. I got to be the one. But that was going to be an odd match anyway. I ain't really like how
Yeah,
how that would
Buster's
have went.
catalog. Buster's catalog. I don't mean no harm. I fuck with Ti, but yo, Buster is a fucking animal. He is a fucking animal. Like that nigga is literally a fucking dragon. You feel me?
I think T.I. might have came in there and got a fabulous. Like, you know how Jada Kiss played Fab into like kind of trying to go hard song for hard song, and that's not gonna work. But what do you do when a nigga bringing you banger after banger? Because Bus gonna come in there with 20 missiles, yo.
Yeah,
Like, and
20
and
missiles off the
and
back,
the
and then his
energy
B
gonna be
sides
so
is fucking
motherfucking
crazy
high.
too. Yeah.
Like so motherfucking high. T.I. got high energy songs, but he ain't got that type of energy songs. So what song can he kind of grab and bring it back into his lane? Now, I feel like T.I. has
He
more
can't.
songs that probably plagued the masses, but I don't think he had nothing that was on like Buster's energy level.
Nah, cause the thing is, yo, if Buster wants, he can. If he wants to dig into his conscious shit, he could dig into his Tribe Called Quest bag. You feel me? He worked with them niggas plenty of times and shit. He can dig into, like he is literally the human switchblade of this rap shit when it comes to this battle shit. You feel me? Like it's only so few motherfuckers that can really go against him, and to only go against that nigga will only be like Missy or some shit. You feel me?
That's who you think could get with him.
Missy or Pharrell.
I can't give him Pharrell. Pharrell's an alien. Pharrell need to be in there with somebody
You
like
need an
Kanye or
alien to
something.
attack a dragon. You feel me? You need some mythical shit to attack some mythical shit. You feel me?
I feel like Fat Joe and him will get busy.
Him and Fat Joe would be fucking ill. I ain't gonna lie. Like
I think
the
that'll be a
Terror
good one.
Squad cuts along
Yeah,
with
'cause
that
Fat
shit
Joe
would be
got
fucking
joints.
ill. But I don't know, yo. Like that nigga Buster is fucking crazy. But shit.
I put X up against Buster too. Like I feel like that would have been a good matchup
Yeah, I
too.
feel like that'd be a battle for real.
I was
But I
actually
feel like they can only do 10 or 15. I don't think they could do a whole 20.
well X already did a 20, so like I feel like he got it, and he probably had another 5 or 8 more that he could have played. I know Buster probably got 20, and then if he going to get somebody that like got
That nigga still
deep
playing
hip hop
unreleased
cuts,
shit.
yeah, and I feel like Buster probably would have played some unreleased shit.
If he played the J Dilla, if he just played 30 seconds of a J Dilla beat, he won that shit. You
I
feel me?
I think what it is though is I think don't nobody want to get into it with somebody like I said that got like a tremendous like catalog that
Catalog.
stretches like that. Like, 'cause you guys joints
I
with so
think
many legends.
I think that was the shit that fucked 2 Chainz up. 2 Chainz up with Ross. When you look at Ross's catalog from 2003 up until now, you feel me? Versus Chainz and shit, it's a different number. Even though Chainz got hits on hits on hits, Ross got catalog on catalog on catalog, and each catalog has a hit, 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 hit.
Yeah,
You feel me?
and it's hard to compete with that. But speaking of X, I was recently looking at this whole shit about the why the Def Jam Vendetta failed, and it was like a reporter that like they offered this nigga 25,000 advance for the first game, and then 2 cents on every copy, and I was like, damn, yo. That's like one of my favorite
That's
childhood
bread.
games, and just to know niggas like got like you know what I mean cheese like that is like crazy,
Yeah.
and it explains why like all the homies always get together and we be talking about like damn I hope they make another one, and then it seems like if they paying niggas like that I don't think it's ever gonna be another one.
Oh no, it's one. I guess like I guess rappers started looking at it like how college athletes started looking at it. You feel me? They're using our likeness. They're using all this shit, and we're getting this shit while these niggas is making that. You feel me?
Yeah, the game sold 1.8 million copies.
Yeah.
You do the math for 2 cents, I think he made about 36,000 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Off of that game selling much, that's crazy. But I don't know, like it goes into a early conversation we had on the pod about just how much
How
influence
these
rappers
companies,
have and
yeah,
stuff like that.
how much hip hop actually influence just gaming in a whole for real, and just how these niggas just milk the culture for real,
But
and
not,
not even paying the due respects or even just reaching to these niggas.
but not only that, like specifically for that game, the hip hop is what drove the game, yo. Like if that had just been a regular ass game, it would not have been as lit as it was. Like the lit factor came in that it was so many hip
It
hop
was,
artists that we loved on there. So you telling me that you
yeah, it
can't
was
pay them
rappers
niggas to,
fighting
yeah,
rappers.
it's like that's the
Yeah, you
reason
could
niggas
really
is buying
settle
the
rap
game.
beefs. That was the main fucking point. You could
Yeah,
really settle rap beefs in that fucking game
all
for real.
types of shit, and it was like for them to not look out or not think that the talent or the niggas that made their legacy is worth paying. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of fucked up. And
That is
I don't know
true.
what that game like. I don't know what the budget was for that game and all that stuff like that too. But if they just sunk some more dollars in that, and that gets, and this is getting into a whole nother game and specific topic. But sometimes when you take chances and shit like that, you create community like just favorites, and that's something you can always
Cult
pull back
classics
from.
and
Yeah,
shit.
it's like
Yeah.
if they could somehow do it again, like in this era right now, that game would sell a bunch of fucking copies because niggas love that game and it has a nostalgia factor with people.
I ain't gonna lie though, yo.
But EA didn't do
With
that. It was the rappers.
I think with like the rappers nowadays for real, it might be a little bit more like comical, yo. Like this shit might have to go to celebrity deathmatch, yo, with the rappers nowadays, yo.
I don't think so because it was a Def Jam product. Like it was a bunch of other rappers out
I
in that
mean,
era. Like it
don't
would
get me
probably
wrong,
be
we
more
got we got
so.
some killers. We got some killers in this era, but like at the same time though, yo, it's like I don't know, yo. It's a lot of gimmicky motherfuckers too. Like it depends on who they put in the game. Like if
Everybody
they
would
got the
make it.
whole drill scene,
No, they would
that
have had a
shit
whole drill
probably will be
scene.
a whole different. That should probably be a whole different chapter. You feel me? If they got the new the drill scene in New York and all that shit, it'll be
I don't,
probably a different story. I don't know.
I don't know if everybody would make the cut. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, true, true, true.
Like of course it'd probably be like I see like if you talk in new school, they'd probably throw a 21 Savage on there. You could probably see like a Kevin Gates or
They
some
do like
shit like. But I wouldn't
a
think they would put like
2015
a
cut or
little pump or some
2014
shit
cut.
like that. Like I don't see none of them niggas making it. Like
Mm.
I don't see that happening.
I love to see Schoolboy in that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
What was the last one that came out with?
Schoolboy just duffing a nigga.
Icon was it? Def Jam
Yeah,
Icon.
Icon. Some shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was Icon and shit. I think it had like T.I. and Wayne or some shit in it.
It had a couple people on there. It wasn't a bad game, but it was pretty trashy. But that had like a lot of modern day niggas. Not too many, but so I honestly think they could do it, but not paying niggas like that.
See, but I think you can only get niggas that's fans of video games to be involved in that shit because they'll be the only ones that actually can see that shit and be able to push that shit the way it goes. You feel me?
Right. We won't. We
I
won't
think
dispose too much on Hick. But could you think about the possibility, just how much money you could make, like just with the DLC characters, like they doing on Mortal Kombat and shit like that? You bringing in more
oh
rappers,
yeah.
throwing niggas bread, and
You know, a
niggas gonna
fighter
want to be on the
pack and
game.
shit, a rapper
Yeah,
fighter pack and
and
shit. Hell yeah,
niggas gonna
nigga.
want to be on the game, and they don't necessarily got to be made
You
by
got
EA.
posse. I ain't gonna lie. If they do posse cuts, they got my money right there, yo. I could fight with the whole junior mafia, just duff niggas and shit, yo. That shit would be hard.
Hell yeah. We can't sell too much of it, niggas. Take our idea. Whew. Man.
Oh yeah, you probably had to pull up the stick on the nigga.
Oh man. Yeah, shout out to
For
what's
sure.
an excited baby? Ain't that who sing that
Hell
song?
yeah. Pull up with the stick. Pull up with the stick. I was listening to that shit with my grandmother, yo. She was like, "What is this?" I was like, "This is the future."
On that bombshell, we gonna go ahead and get out of here. Tone, go ahead and close this out, bro.
Shit. Closing statement. Like always, you feel me? Free out political prisoners, Tax Stones, motherfucking Bobby Shmurda, motherfucking Rowdy Rebel, all the other homies that's
Kodak.
holding it down. Kodak, you feel me? Shit and shit, man. I'm excited for this Javante Davis fight coming up on the fucking goddamn Halloween. You feel me? So be on the lookout for that. Hometown legend. You feel me? Baltimore legend.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see this shit. Take home the crown and shit. And shit. Sock passe to all my Haitian niggas. Bonjour to all my French niggas. You feel me? What's up to all my niggas out in Cali? Fuck. Oh shit. Shouts out to my Cambodian niggas out in Cali, out in LBC. You feel me? Cambodia town. You feel me? My Asian boys. I got my niggas out there. Met a couple Asian boys today for real. So shouts out to the ABs out there. They fuck with the podcast.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I just got a message recently. Somebody which came from another podcast and shouted us out Geeks in the City. So that's what's up,
Mm,
man. All the love and everything that we getting from them. So shouts out to Geeks in the City again, man. Really appreciate them, shouting us out and putting people on to us, and we shout all that good stuff, man. Make sure y'all go check that podcast out because it is great content, excellent.
for
We
sure, for
delivered.
sure.
And we're gonna go and get out of here, man. We see you guys on the gaming edition this Wednesday.